Alright, I think that's about wraps it up for all the Canada Day celebrations for us here anyways, in terms of any kind of events or anything like that. Those were some really long vlogs too, huh? That took up so much memory and so much processing power just to render all that stuff. But at least it's there, so if anyone ever wants to revisit what it was like on that day, there you have it. That's why I like documenting stuff like that. It's just too bad, again, I couldn't fly the drone in more places. Because in my opinion, that would have gave you the different perspective that most people aren't able to see. Kind of makes me think about the topic too in general in terms of the drone regulations and all that, like the interim ones. And if the intent of it is to stop people from doing something dangerous, I think the odds of that happening are so low compared to the benefits that people could use the tech for. Like in this case, I could have got all the footages of the Canada Day in a very safe way, but unfortunately, you know, I couldn't. I did read an interesting piece of news in the US actually about someone using drones for the good. But today in general, what I wanted to do for a test, I've been actually holding off because as you guys remember way back like when those interim laws were announced, where it was so ridiculous I couldn't fly anywhere, I got that lens hood for the Mavic and I never was able to test it, like in practicality as opposed to just holding it and turning it. And in that case, as you guys remember, I found that it got into the shot, which was not what I was worried about, like when getting stuff like that. So today I'll actually test it. Let's see if that lens hood is any good for the Mavic Pro. Yeah, so that news I read in the US, I had to do something about, there was people like along the beach or shore or something like that. Like it was a paddle boater dragging along behind them. I guess two floatable toys, that's what they call it, inflatable water toys. I guess they were shaped like swans or something like that. And apparently there were some great white sharks near them, which they had no idea about. So I guess the concern is when you have things dragging behind you like that, they're shaped like a swan. I guess like, you know, the shark was in a predator form will just jump out and kind of like surprise attack them. And apparently there was a drone flyer flying around the area and they noticed this. And they basically alerted, like, you know, the proper people, and then from there they actually tried to get them out of the water. It's kind of interesting seeing like all the footage and stuff of it. You know, reading stories like this again just makes me think of things like the positives versus the negatives. I mean, you could argue, like the mindset here anyways for the regulations is, hey, never fly them around that area, there's people there, like the thing could crash into them or whatever. But then like in this case, the person used it in a good way. I mean, in my opinion, he was probably flying it very safe just by the looks of it. I mean, no one was harmed. He used the footage in a good way. So again, in my opinion, like the way they're written, if it's really over the top or overblown, it actually stops more people from doing good, in my opinion, than the odds of it crashing into someone and causing some kind of fatal injury. Again, have safeguards, but don't make it ridiculous. It makes me actually curious if you could somehow tally up all of the benefits that were lost as a result of having crazy regulations like that, like with the drones, like here in Canada. Because in my opinion, it probably added up way more than whatever, like the accidents that it would have caused, if any. Because again, like from the beginning, I've never read of things like a drone like smashing into an airplane, killing like tens of thousands of people. Whereas like the common everyday thing, I've heard like tons of times of how people could have used it to help people, but then they couldn't. But apparently those new drone law regulations should be coming soon, right? I mean, according to them before, it was supposed to be in the previous months, last week, but we got the new interim laws instead. So hopefully, again, we'll see the new proposed permanent regulations. Alright, so I'm going to test this with sunshade. It looks like this. You guys seen it already? Yeah, so I'm going to leave it on and try to tape it in various situations and see how it goes. I'll do one practical one, how people fly it normally, and then probably something like in a sports mode just to really test it. And just for some giggles, this is how it looks like without any kind of filters or anything like that. It probably looks like a huge ghost, right? And so just for fun, I'll put the lens hood on just to show people that this isn't a replacement for filters. So I'll put it on now. Okay, so this is with that lens hood on. As you can see, it doesn't do much difference in terms of like the overall picture. So obviously you need like a filter with it still, like in conditions like these. So I'll put a filter on it right now too, just to, you know, match the picture, because it'll be more of a test to see whether or not that thing gets in the shot. Okay, so right now this is with an ND32 and this is without this sunshade. Okay, so now I'm going to put the actual sun hood on. Alright, let's fly this thing and see how it is. It's going to be hard holding this camera and doing this at the same time. Okay, so again, this is with the actual the sun lens to shade or whatever you want to call it on. Okay, so far I don't see it in the shot. Right, so let me turn around. Do it a little bit quicker. This isn't the regular days where I try to get cinematic shots. And again, it's about a test to see whether or not I see the sunlight. It helps in any way. So I'm turning at an okay speed, not too fast. Okay, seems okay so far. Now I'm going to just hold the right stick to make it turn as fast as it goes on the regular speed. Here we go. Can you see it in the shot anywhere? I think I see it. Yes, I do. I see it on the right side. So you can see it does come in the shot if you turn basically like right really fast. So now what we're going to do is, just for the sake of test, I'm going to put this thing in tripod mode right now. Here we go. Tripod mode. So this only goes as fast as, obviously, like in a slower pace. This is as fast as it goes in the tripod mode that I have it set on. That seems okay. This is full throttle all the way left. Now I'm going all the way right. Okay, seems okay so far in tripod. Let's go up a little higher. Now I'm assuming here it's not going to get in the shot because it's pretty slow like the way it flies, so I'm just going to go forward. Turn right and left. It's not in the shot. Let's try the gimbal, just going down right now. Nothing there, turn up fast. And nothing as expected. Okay, so that's my assumption. When you go really slow, you won't see actually anything. Okay, let's stop this. Alright, so let's try flying around a little bit. This is not in the tripod mode right now. Whoa, I'm going full speed ahead, and you guys can see. I saw it basically, it went up and down the shot. I'm going to stop. Nothing there, turn fast. Yeah, you can see it in the shot now. Go fast again. There it is. Right when you start in the first throttle, you see it in the shot. How about if you go backwards? The same. Whoops. Right there. When it stopped by itself, just because it has to brake, you see it again. I mean, I shouldn't have to test this, but this is sports mode right now, okay? Like for sure, I assume like here in sports mode, for sure it gets in the shot for sports mode. I mean, just for the sake of it again, here's it going forward. Yeah, you can see here, it's full throttle in there. That for sure it's gonna get in the shot. That's what I expected. Going full throttle again. Yeah. So that's my assumption for the most part. For things like this, they're only good if you're going really slow. Now, as to how well it does without it, I guess let's try to take some shots without it, because I guess I proved my point where if you go too fast or too sharp, it comes in the shot. So let's bring it back down. Okay, so for this test, I'm just gonna fly around like just in general, just to see how it is. This is without the actual lens hood on now. Let's try it again. All right. So let's see if I turn like in a circle, if I'll get any kind of like huge glare on the screen, because I don't think I've noticed it before, but I'll see in the editing afterwards, which you guys would have saw by now as well. Okay. So now let's just do like a regular pan like I was doing before. Kind of an okay speed. I think the sunlight would be here if I would see it, like hit it directly in the lens. I don't know, to me everything looks kind of the same so far. Okay, and just for the heck of it, I'm gonna go full throttle, like turning right, make it spin in a circle. So definitely, yeah, looks same, go full left. Nope, seems okay to me. Let's go forward, this is regular. Looks the same to me, right? In terms of picture quality for the most part. Okay, I don't need to try it in the tripod mode because most of you see me take like, you know, slow videos over and over again, like for the most part, but let's test it in the sports mode. Okay, so here's the sports mode right now. That's how fast it goes. And let's go forward. So that's the type of shots you can get, like with the sports mode. Although, warning for everyone, this is usually the mode that most people crash in. Just because it doesn't have like these sensors or anything like that. And let's bring it back. Alright, and let's take it over to sports mode. Alright, so what do you guys think of that so far in terms of the lens hood? Yeah, so that was more of a quick technical test because I was always wondering if that would be good up in the mountains and stuff like that. But based on that, that was my fear, where if you fly, like even like in a moderately fast pace, then oh my god, it's gonna get in the shot. So hopefully that helps some of you who are thinking of getting stuff like that. I know for me, I bought it mainly because one of the little pieces of the gimbal cover like broke off, and I couldn't justify spending like, what was it, I don't know what it was, like $12 or $15 for like a piece of plastic just to cover like the Mavic camera. So I was like, I might as well just buy this since it's gonna be like in a bag and stuff anyways. I mean, that was my main purpose. So I guess it's nice to have, like, just in case if there's a situation where you're still, for example, really slow, maybe it helps. But for the most part, for regular flying, like again, I'm just too paranoid it's gonna come into the shot like what you saw here. I'll also list the one that I specifically used in this one here. If there is like a better one, I mean, feel free to suggest it. I just can't go around buying like a gazillion of them. I mean, it's a little expensive to do that for a hobby. I'm glad to hear there's a lot of you who enjoyed going through the Canada Day experience with me. I think it's your guys' turn to show me what it's like in your countries. Isn't it tomorrow in the US? They're having a big celebration too. Show me some drone footage. I think you guys have more flexibility to fly than we do. Oh, too bad I missed some of you that said you wanted to like fly together. I think you guys have to make it like an actual event or something like that because my schedule is just so random usually. That's why I wanted like something portable with the drone, because you never know like where I'll end up and where I can like potentially fly, like hopefully. Alright, see you guys later.